It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again. At Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Hey Hawk fans, it's Ty with the Morning Rush. Join me this Saturday from 6 to 8 a.m. at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville for Arkansas Game Day. The $10 sale is backed by popular demand. Yes, take advantage of the $10 sales racks from 6 to 8 a.m. this Saturday at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. No limit. Anything on the rack, just $10. Come by and see Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew this Saturday at the Stadium Shop on Razorback for their final $10 sale.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a bounty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 60s. Clear to partly cloudy sky tonight, and overnight low will drop down into the low 40s. Tuesday, sunny skies. A high will be in the low 60s north, upper 60s south. And then Wednesday, a chance of a few showers, highs near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. One, two, three. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Hello and good morning, and a very happy Monday to all listening, and even those who are not, on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson with you, along with my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, and Colton Little producing, and we'll take you for the next 3 hours on this bright Monday on day one of Texas Week. Matt Jones, good morning to you. Christian, good morning to you. Great job with the show on Friday. Got a chance to listen to some of it on the way out of Bud Walton Arena after the women's basketball team picked up a win. They'll be in action later tonight in Little Rock. I'll get my home game. They'll take on the Trojans. We get basketball on Wednesday. Big football weekend to revisit. And it's good to be with you guys again. Happy Monday, Matt. What's up?
Happy Monday is right. Phil, football is in full force. Saturday, the games were awesome. Sunday, the games were awesome. Man, it is. 'Tis the season, man. Happy Monday.
Yeah, watched a lot of football over the weekend. I don't usually get a chance to watch as much college football as I did on Saturday because I'm always at the Razorback game. I think a lot of our listeners are sometimes in the same boat. So the two games that we hit on all week long, did they come out the way that you
I was 1-1.
might have expected, Matt?
I had Ole Miss over Georgia, but I thought the LSU's would step up and come out and play. And the thing that we talked about, the one thing we talked about was the weakness in LSU defense is the quarterback rush. You know what they couldn't stop all night was that Milroe kid. Man, he was doing whatever he wanted to running the ball.
It makes me wonder what would have looked like. Could it have looked any different
If
at
Talon
Razorback
coulda ran.
Stadium if
Yeah.
Talon was any semblance of himself and ability to run the ball that day? Because that's right. They've had a lot of trouble. Hey, the last 2 weeks, wasn't it, with Marcel Reed? They had issues
Same
with him.
thing. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And could not stop Jalen Milroe at all. I guess I expected LSU to show up in that game, but I didn't expect to see a blowout. I didn't expect an ugly ball game. I watched quite a bit of the Texas game. Hogs will have their hands full with this Longhorns team that I felt like they would have won one way or the other. It doesn't matter because Florida just is too beaten up to, I think, be able to compete very hard right now in the SEC. But it felt to me when Sark decides to go for it, 4th down and 1 in their own territory, they get it. And I think it was the next play after that, they scored a touchdown. It's like, all right, this is the kind of game they came to play today. And we'll see if we get the same thing on Saturday at Razorback Stadium. This is Arkansas's next chance to make a huge dent on the national scene, Matt, when you look at really who's available or who's contending for a playoff spot in the SEC. There's 6 teams right now that are contending for 3 to 4 playoff spots. I think you could still see 4 of them out there. I do not put Missouri in that category. I know they've got the same amount of losses as Georgia and Ole Miss and A&M. And I guess if they get to the finish line with just 2 losses, they'll have to be considered. But I think they're going to lose against South Carolina this weekend in Columbia, South Carolina. So I don't think I think by the time Arkansas plays Mizzou in the Battle Line rivalry, Mizzou's playoff fate will be sealed. But man, do they have an opportunity to really make a dent in the playoffs with one coming up this Saturday. And it's odd though because like a loss by Texas does not knock them out. 2 losses is going to knock you out. In fact, I think you very well may end up looking at a league that doesn't have a single one-loss team by the end of the season. Right now, Tennessee and Texas are the only 2 teams with 1 loss. Tennessee's got Georgia. Look, I think right now Georgia's a wounded dog, but they could still pull out a victory over the Volunteers. Texas, I think the Hogs will have a shot. I think they'll have an opportunity. I'm not here to predict they're going to win, but I think they're going to have a chance. A&M has an outstanding chance in College Station at the end of the season. Wouldn't that be wild to have an SEC, Matt, where there would be no teams with fewer than 2 losses? We very well could be looking at that. I hope the Razorbacks play their part in that this Saturday.
Georgia beats Tennessee. Tennessee might not fall out of the top 12. And then, Alabama they're in. I mean, you look at Alabama's schedule, they're in. So there's one team that's in because they're not going to make it to the SEC championship. I mean, I guess they could. Texas A&M game, to me, that feels like a play-in game for A&M end of the season. If A&M beats Texas, such a good win, they'll be in. If A&M wins out, they're in. There's 100%, Phil. There's going to be three teams. I bet this first year, the SEC gets 4 teams into the playoff 12.
Well, I feel really confident in that now because, it's a guarantee. The ACC is only going to get 1 team in. With Miami's loss, that league's only going to get 1 team in.
Talk about falling from grace. They were like
kidding.
4, and then now they're outside. Well, they're 12 now, yeah.
It was so interesting, too, because you think of the 2 teams in college football that hadn't, or the one team in college football that had played that style where every week they've got to come back and it's a 1-score game, but they remained undefeated. And then you saw with the Chiefs yesterday do it again somehow. The Chiefs, obviously, we know they know how to win championships. So it's not as much of a surprise as to see Miami come from like 2 or 3 touchdowns down in the second half routinely. We couldn't pull it off against Georgia Tech. So, I felt good about that because now, really, the ACC this year should only get 1 team in. The Big 12 only didn't get 1 team in. So that's 2 out of 12. Notre Dame gets in. Then you're talking about the Big 10 and the SEC that are fighting for the remaining 9 spots. Somebody might get 5 in at that point, which sounds like it would be crazy.
Man, I was looking on Florida's roster to see if they played Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech smoked Florida State and Miami, seeing if they were going to go for the trifecta right there. But they don't have Florida. Florida had UCF and somebody they got Florida State. That's who they got.
Yeah, you know what though? I think you're right about Alabama. They'll be in.
They're in. You look at
They'll
their
get
schedule.
in. They will be in.
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah, Mercer, Oklahoma, and Auburn's all that's left. There's no way. I know we always say when it comes to the Iron Bowl, you never know.
I think we know this.
That
year.
ain't happening this year.
I think we know. I think we know this year.
It's not about to happen this year. Pick out of all the rivalry games that week. Out of all the rivalry games that week, Florida State, which could that very well end up being maybe the worst Gators
Who's going to call
Seminoles
plays?
game of all time?
Who's going to call plays for Florida State? I mean, they fired their OC, their DC, and their receiver coach. They're 1-9.
Well, who does it matter
Has
how many? Who calls the plays anymore?
I'd say who's.
It hasn't worked. Whoever's called the plays up to this point hasn't worked. Did last year, not working very well right now. Yeah, I'd say Florida State, maybe the worst rivalry game of that weekend. Yeah, but we were looking at 3 weeks ahead. So that weekend it's Arkansas-Mizzou rivalry, right? Sponsored and everything, and yeah, all of that. Your real rivalry game is this Saturday. How does everybody feel about it? You haven't watched the Razorbacks play since a big egg laid at home against an Ole Miss team that obviously is rising to the occasion right now. Those guys have been talking about, we all came here, took the money or returned to Ole Miss to play for a national championship. To me, Matt, it looks like to them, their playoffs already started. And they started at Razorback Stadium. They continued this weekend. And the Rebels' next playoff game will be in Gainesville. And then it's the Egg Bowl. I don't know if there's a team playing any better right now in this league.
The best team the Hogs have played all year is Ole Miss. The most talented team, the most complete team, both sides of the ball, run the ball, pass the ball, play defense. It was LSU. I think LSU's taken a couple steps back. They've been found out. Maybe Texas is better than Ole Miss. I don't know. I think the Hogs are going to play better against Texas than they did Ole Miss. But I'm with you, Phil. I think the best team the Hogs have played so far this year is the Ole Miss Rebels.
Well, hopefully you walk away from Razorback Stadium thinking, yeah, that Texas team was good, but we were a lot better today, and we found a way to upset them. You get one Power T upset at home. Hopefully there's another one in the offing. The truth of the matter is, I just want to make sure. I want them to win the game. Don't get me wrong, but you can't have another home embarrassment. That can't happen this Saturday. Not with 2 weeks to prepare. Not with the fact that everybody's been talking about this game here in Arkansas since Texas decided to join this league and got their invitation. Not with what's on the line really over these next 3 weeks, and not just trying to make a bowl game, but make a better bowl game than going to Memphis. And I got nothing against the Liberty Bowl. We went there 2 years ago. Let's go to a bowl game for 7 or 8 wins instead of 6. But I just want to make sure that it's a good game, that it's not over by the time you get into the fourth quarter, that you feel that Arkansas somehow had a chance to win in the second half. And it just, the last couple of home games have not gone very well. I know in the second half you had the ball with a chance to take the lead early in the third, but from that point on, it was all LSU. It was all Ole Miss from the second quarter on, and 1-5 at home in the SEC in these last couple of years doesn't hold. It doesn't matter if that's the number 1 or 2 or 3 team in the nation that's coming in. Got to play well. Give them reason to stick around. That's what I go into this week thinking about, Matt. It's like you had 2 weeks to prepare. Hopefully we'll find out that Talon and Jaquindon Jackson are a little healthier than they were the last time Sam spoke to the media. He'll talk in about 50 minutes. So I'm a little nervous going into the week just because of what's happened in home games against good teams, and even some teams that you wouldn't even say are very good in these last couple of years.
Yeah, it is Texas week. Another thing that was interesting, Phil, when I was looking at the the standings and the rankings, Colorado wins out. They're in too. That would be kind of interesting. A lot of people wrote Colorado off early.
Right.
They've been very polarizing since Coach Prime's been there and how the season's been going on. All they've done is put their head down and beat the opponents in front of them. I still don't think they're that good of it. I think if Colorado played Boise State would win. So I don't really think Colorado's just like some elite team with a great talented roster. But they have a quarterback that's going to play on Sundays. They got probably the best two-way player to come out of the game since Charles Woodson. So they have the best left tackle that's a freshman. So they got some talent. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if Colorado wins out.
Well, a lot of football to start the week. Of course, there was a big basketball game Saturday night in Dallas. Arkansas falling to Baylor. We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll also be talking with Matt Zimmerman, who, of course, was on the call for Arkansas and Baylor. He'll be on at the bottom of this hour, 11:30, 12:15. Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center stops by. We'll do our 3 up, 3 down, and Mike Irwin checks in after the Sam Pittman teleconference at 1:15. Plus a lot of time for your calls and texts. We'll open it up for you right now for the next segment, 877-377-6963. It's a bright, sunny Monday. We're glad to be with you, and halftime is back after this.
This is halftime.
See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adventure Dave will be attempting his greatest stunt yet. He will jump over 100 boats, ATVs, cars, and trucks, all at Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. Here he comes now. Adventure Dave, why did you choose Adventure Oklahoma for this stunt?
Well, Tom, Adventure Oklahoma is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else would let me jump over their boats and ATVs.
Adventure Oklahoma by Auto Finders has it all. Brand new, used, that's right. CF Moto, Arctic Cat, and Segway side-by-sides and ATVs, all with a free 5-year warranty. Only offered by Adventure Oklahoma. Plus, G3 boats, Suncatcher pontoons, and Falcon Bass boats with delivery up to 100 miles away. The lowest priced pre-owned vehicles in the area with 90 days to your first payment.
That's right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with Destiny.
Yes, and what a jump it will be.
No, the jump is tomorrow. This is Destiny.
See y'all later. Well, until then, visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. AutoFindersOK.com.
Your journey starts here.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Love until your heart hurts and wander till you reach your destination. Cities we build them in there. Take me where the desert meets the ocean.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Man, it's gonna be kind of funny when there are 4 or 5 SEC teams with 2 losses, and yet 4 of them make it into the playoff 12. Well, you're gonna have a couple 1-loss teams in the ACC that might not make it. Same with the Big 12. It's going to be a very interesting time. Now that I think of it, you can't have a 1-loss team in the Big 12 that won't make it unless BYU doesn't win the championship game there, because everybody's got 2 losses except for BYU in the Big 12 right now.
But I think it's 1 conference loss for Colorado and not 1 conference loss. So I don't think they have 2 Big 12. That's why they could, if they win out. I think.
Yeah, Colorado lost to Nebraska.
They play BYU, I think.
Well, they'll play each other in the championship if things work out the way that they look like they'll work out. Let's go to Cecil. You can call us. You can text us, 877-377-6963. Cecil, good morning. How are you?
Man, what's up, fellas? What's up? There's a couple things I got to say. I want to say. Y'all might cut me out because y'all know I talk a lot. But anyway, honestly, I honestly think that Ole Miss to me, they done impressed me. The way they handled Georgia, they're really good. I think they can win the whole thing. I mean, that's just my opinion. Now, as far as Texas go, and then I hear this wishy-washy fan, how they go. When we win a game, everybody talking good. Then when we lose, everybody slandering us. Come on, man, jump in the car and ride, and just keep riding. Because we're at home. That's a plus that we're at home, that we're in Fayetteville, and it's definitely a rivalry. It goes all the way back in the Southwest Conference. That's a rivalry. So if we can just get up for the game and stay more confident. Confidence has a lot to do with winning the game too. That's just like when you go down the field and you miss the field goal. That kind of deconfidence, it takes the confidence away from you. But if the fans just just have a little more confidence, other than when we beat Tennessee, what was everybody saying, Matt Field? What was they saying? When we beat Tennessee, they was telling me, hey, man, we played good defense. Hey, man, we did. Then we lose a couple in a row, bam. Then, we back to the drum. We're a sorry team, which we're not. We're not. We just got to get out there and play football, man. And I'm sacrificing some bills because I'm going to that game. I ain't going to miss it.
Not missing that.
I'm going to hang up, man.
I don't blame you for not missing it, because what this is, and look, I appreciate the idea that Arkansas and Texas have been rivals for a long time. This is a rebirth of that rivalry. No, but this is a rebirth. Now they're in the league. Now you're playing them every year. Now you're playing them every year in football. This is the rebirth of a rivalry. And this is really a chance to give the rivalry a little bit of fertilizer. If you get an opportunity, you get a chance to beat a team that if they end up with four other teams that have 2 losses, there's no guarantee Texas makes it to the playoff 12. If that second loss comes from Arkansas, well, then you get something to celebrate over them for the next calendar year. And really, until the end of time, it's games like that that really make rivalries. It's the kick six. It's Arkansas upsetting LSU on the last day of the season. It's Pitt over West Virginia to knock them out of a championship opportunity. It's those kinds of games, where even when there is a noted underdog and will be an underdog for probably most of that rivalry, that's what makes these rivalries what they are. When the underdog does rise up and potentially ruin a special season for the other team.
I don't think Texas had to get it out of second gear against Florida. Maybe they got it into second or third for a little bit of time. But, man, that's just as athletic as a team as I've seen Phil on the outside. They have speed to burn. Their quarterback is a first-class quarterback. I mean, what do you say? I mean, Texas got a lot of blue chips. And so, yeah, it'd be a huge win. And you know that when you're at Arkansas. You got a lot more 3 and 4 stars, and they got a lot more 4 and 5 stars. But that's just how it goes. It's the beauty of college football. You can get some turnovers early. It's the same concept, same recipe that we had against Tennessee. Now, I think Texas is a better team with a better quarterback. You got to keep it a single-possession game as long as you can. You got to try to be able to run the ball. You got to make tackles in the secondary. Like I said, their speed on the outside – Ole Miss didn't even have their best receiver, and we couldn't cover him on the outside.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of that going on in this game.
Man, I really hope that Keon Stewart's able to get back out. That Jalen Braxton hopefully is able to has been practicing over the last week, not just running in a pool or running in water, but actually running on grass and practicing. Because, man, the secondary's got to be ready to go in this ball game, about as good as any other game that they've played all year long.
Texas will throw it 40 times, Phil.
And be happy to.
They'll throw it.
That's playing right into their wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they'll do that one way or the other. 14.5-point spread on Bet-Sarazen right now. 14.5-point spread. That's the largest spread we've seen in a game so far this year. Forget what Tennessee was
Oklahoma
favored.
State, I think, was 12.5 on us or something.
And that rose on Friday, the last day of the week.
2 touchdowns, yeah.
Well, whether they win or lose, I just want to feel like the 2 weeks were spent properly. It's like, did you hear Brian Kelly was saying after the loss to Alabama? He says, you must have been watching this and thought, what were these guys doing for the last 2 weeks? Let's hopefully not be walking away from Razorback Stadium Saturday thinking the same thing, and not just to those in the locker room, but those in the offices as well. I think Kelly, he was pointing the finger at himself, but I think he also, in a way, pointed the finger partially towards the players too. He said that he thought that he had prepared them, that they had been ready, that they had spent the 2 weeks ready to go. But that's the thing, and it's we learn a little bit about that. I mean, they said, hey, undefeated after a bye until playing a good team like LSU, which I thought was better than they were this past Saturday. But says a little bit about Alabama. Maybe it says a little bit about Kalen DeBoer, and it says something about Jalen Milroe now that he became more of a running back than trying to throw the ball.
Was it Bill King that said that a couple weeks ago? He's the best running back playing quarterback in the college football. I mean, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Darren McFadden when he was back there in the Wildcat. Some of the things he's not as good as a running back as Darren McFadden, but some of the things he can do, how strong he is, how physical he is, that he's always going to go forward. And then, McFadden had a decent little arm on him, and Milroe, I mean, he's not he's very average when it comes to passing the quarterback, but he gets better. He's got great teachers, and he keeps working on it, so he's competent when it comes to throwing the ball.
109 yards passing, 185 yards rushing.
They didn't want it. They did not want to tackle him. I mean, that game was one of those where you could see the writing on the wall, and you kept thinking, well, LSU, they'll figure it out. They'll get physical. They'll get a stop. They'll do something, and they never got it going.
Sounds like really bad luck that Taylon Green's leg was in such a state that game, because maybe that game would have turned out a little bit differently. We're going to talk with Matt Zimmerman about Saturday's Arkansas-Baylor basketball game and a few other things in just a moment. Remember the Stadium Shop right next to Balm on Razorback. Everything you need for the tail end of football season, bowl season, basketball season, and baseball coming up in just a few months. It's all at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Game day, man cave, dorm room. You won't find anything more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. They're local, family, alumni-owned and operated. Call Robert, Elizabeth, or Matt at 479-STADIUM. You can look online at shoponrazorback.com or just stop by the Stadium Shop right next to Baum Walker on Razorback. Make sure they know ESPN sent you. Matt Zimmerman joining halftime in just a moment. Stay with us.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
yeah, yeah. Waiting on the right time. Waiting on the right time, baby. Waiting on the right time. Time.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
That is smoother than Skippy right there, Matt Jones. You got a vibe going on a Monday morning.
Ooh, happy Monday.
Matt Zimmerman is a vibe in and to himself. He is, of course, former assistant coach at Arkansas, many other places, basketball analyst on the Razorback Sports Network, and co-host of the Razorback Daily, along with Quinn Grovey. We got him right now. Zim, good morning. How are you?
Oh, doing good. Shooting a beautiful day in Fayetteville. The weather's gorgeous. Veterans Day, so I've been thinking about a lot of the veterans. And it's nice and it's Texas week. This is Matt Jones week right here.
It's Matt Jones week. Did you know that, Matt? It's a celebration of you too.
I did not know that, but it is Texas week, and what better way to go out there and man, if they could play hard, play well, play fast, get some turnovers, not turn the ball over. Since you brought that up, I know I want to talk a little basketball with you, but what do you think the key is for the football Hogs to get past Texas this week?
I think we just got to have a great start, have a good start, kind of like we did with, the Tennessee game was that grind, that slow game early, not a lot of points. That worked out well. Our defense was so good. And I think that's going to be the same recipe here. Low-scoring games and hang in there early or score early, get a lead early, put pressure on Texas. Texas is thinking about college football playoff. They're still in the race to win the SEC championship. So they're playing for a lot, and we are too, but we're playing for different things. So hopefully, Matt, we can put the pressure on them. We're at home. There's going to be a tremendous crowd. Hopefully every seat's full, and that it's a wild atmosphere like it was against Tennessee and LSU. This time it's going to be 11 o'clock in the morning. Get up early, get here. Our defense is going to have to be great, and we know that. And the defense is going to have to be really, really good. So it's anxious to see. I'm anxious to see who's back. Is Taylor going to be able to play and be effective? And the Jets, is he going to be able to play?
And maybe if Zim's cell phone continues to work at some point, because we could kind of tell there for a moment it was going to go bye-bye. We lost Matt Zimmerman there. A little bit of herky-jerkiness on the cell phone communication today. We'll get him back. Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing you got to wonder about, the availability of Taylon Green for this game. And I think Arkansas needs to have a full complement of running backs. I'd feel a heck of a lot better about their opportunity to compete in this game and pull an upset if whatever ails Braylon Russell isn't bothering him as much now, and with Jaquindon Jackson ready to go, because this is his former program too. I'd imagine he's got a little bit of a thirst to play against the Longhorns as well. Not like revenge or anything like that. It's just he wore that uniform for a year. All right, we got Zim back. Zim, you back? Everything okay?
Oh, yeah, good. I'm up here we had a meeting in the conference room up here at Boyle, so I'm out here on the big red rooftop bar. So I don't know how the self-service is up here. It should be perfect.
It would make no sense.
Yeah,
for it
should
to
be
not
great.
working.
But that was a good point you just made about Jaquindon having played at Texas. So, yeah, that's another storyline. But, boy, it'd be a great win if you could get it. We've had so many great wins over Texas, but they're hard to beat. And so looking forward to the game Saturday.
Baylor looks hard to beat too. That's coming in number 8. I think to myself, how did they get smoked so badly by Gonzaga? Admittedly, a really good Gonzaga team and on the road, but just I don't know. When I turned the television off Saturday night, I thought to myself, yeah, they lost this game, but Baylor's really good. I think when Adu is healthy, they'll defend in the post a little better, and a couple threes go down, maybe we're talking a little differently. I mean, I didn't see anything that makes me think that this team won't be as good as we think they can be.
Well, we've got a fun team. You got a lot of different guys that are high-level players, and we get the tip, and you turn around, and boom, there they are in a 1-3-1 zone. You kind of felt like there was a strong chance. Scott Drew's been a zone coach so much of his career, but as they won the national championship and have had some other good teams since, he's played a lot more man-to-man. I think we were hoping for a little more man-to-man too, because we got guys that like to play against man-to-man like Boogie and DJ and Nelly especially. But the zone kind of slowed us down, grinded us down a little bit, and then you start off 0 for 9 from the 3. That's not a good recipe against any zone. So the hopes of us pulling them out of that zone were zero when we start off 0 for 9, and they just kind of sat in that zone the whole time. We were much better against the zone in the second half. We attacked it, got the ball to the free throw line. Sometimes he'd flash Nelly in there. Sometimes he'd flash Boogie in there. Adu Thero was outstanding against the zone throughout the whole game, 24 points. He was really, really good. And we're going to be fine. And you hit it right on the head. Jonas is a very good defensive player. He's almost 7 foot. He's a good athlete. He's got super long arms. This guy blocked 66 shots last year playing at Tennessee. So we don't have a guy, that kind of defense out there, not as effective. So that hurts. And that's a big part of, I think, the plan of this team going into the season, him being a big part of it. And he's played in both the regular season games, but he's not 100% by any means. So every day, hopefully he gets better and moves better and jumps better and gets back to being an athletic guy that he can be. So it's a 9-man rotation. It's going to stay a 9-man rotation. The 2 McDonald's All-American freshmen, not counting Boogie, the other 2, they have to continue to come on because they're going to get to minutes. And so Carter and Billy, they don't have to come in and score 15 points each game, but they got to come in and help you and be good on defense and rebound and give energy. And that's what they're capable of doing. I think as they keep figuring out that role, they'll be more effective as time goes. And, Nelly will be better. Nelly's not been great so far. He's had a couple moments, but he's a guy that can shoot. He can drive a little bit. He can go rebound. He's a 6'4", strong guard. We need him to be good as well. So we got about 3 or 4 bye games in a row coming up here, starting on Wednesday night with Troy, and then you got Pacific. So you got a chance against these bye games to figure out a lot about your team. And not that there's not pressure, but maybe a little lower stressful games. Does that make sense? And so this is where this team can really come together. And then you go Thanksgiving and play Illinois and Kansas City. So hopefully by then we're really humming pretty good.
Coach, when you play a team like that, I don't know how many teams in the SEC are going to play zone like that. I don't think you got too stagnant. I thought they moved the ball. Maybe if they could have cut a little more. I don't know how many times y'all run trailers to the middle or the short corner. But just as far as a teaching experience, is there anybody in the SEC that's going to play zone like Baylor played against y'all?
Well, there are a couple of people that can do it, whether it's, Chris Jan's a very good coach at Mississippi State, but he'll do most. He wants to play man-to-man, but he might throw some in there. Chris Beard might throw a little zone. Mike White, we got them at home, though, but Georgia, he's always thrown some different zones in there. Not sure about Kentucky, Mark Pope, what he'll do. I don't think so. And Missouri's another one that they haven't been very good, but they can throw some zone at you. But to answer your question, probably not as good a zone as Baylor. I mean, Scott Drew's been coaching zone his whole career. His dad played a lot of zone defense. The Drew family's a good zone defense coaches. He can play a 2-3 zone. He can play a 1-3-1 zone, and they play it well. You don't get a ton of just wide open, easy shots. Now, like you said, once we got the ball to the high post, to the free throw line area, we could drive it. One time a dude caught it, squared up, bang, knocked it down right at the free throw line in the second half. The ball moved pretty decent throughout the game, but we did need a little more cutting. We need a little more guys cutting into gaps, and you got to attack it. Coach said that on a post-game radio when I got to visit with him. Was, catch the ball and try to drive it, just like you would against man-to-man. If they cut you off, pass it, and that guy needs to catch it and try to drive it. They cut you off, pass it, and the next guy needs to try it. So he does want more drives against the zone, which will obviously break it down. And I think rebounding, we out-rebounded Baylor. And when we see zones, we got to fly to that glass. Defensive teams in zone don't rebound as well. And that'll be a big part because this team's got a chance with this size, 4 really big guys, and Nelly's a pretty good rebounder. Boogie had 5 rebounds the other day from a guard spot. This team really could be a great rebounding team.
Yeah, I mean, I think we like the guards a lot with the ability to score from Nelly and from Boogie and from DJ. I'm really intrigued by Thero, a guy that's been around for a couple of years. He wasn't the featured guy. Not like he's going to be a featured guy at Arkansas necessarily, but it just feels like this is a season where he, at least in the first couple of games, looked like he's taken a jump from the season before, his second year at Kentucky. And I like his intensity. I like the physicality that he plays with.
Yeah.
And there just seems like there's a lot there from Adu.
Well, he's not LeBron James, obviously, but he's that size. I mean, he's 6'8", 250 pounds. I mean, LeBron at times has played at 260, 265.
I was going to say, it's built like Karl Malone.
Yeah, that's right. Big, strong, those big balls, shoulders, and strong arms. And he was so good the other night. I mean, every time he caught the ball, you thought he had a great chance to score. He goes to the glass. He tries to rebound. He's a good defensive player. Hey, 2 incredibly athletic plays. Well, every game he tries to shatter the backboard on a dunk. He had another one of those incredibly athletic dunks. But then when he went to the basket hard right in front of our bench, and their McDonald's All-American, B.J. Edgecombe, came up and blocked it clean, but hit him with the body, and they called a foul. Good call by the official, and we got to go to the free throw line. And their kid, B.J., he was hurt after that. Now, he was able to kind of limp around, and then a few minutes later he was okay. But that was a big-time try to dunk, big-time block attempt. I mean, high-level athleticism. You're going to see a lot of that out of this team. And I love it. I like the fact Coach has already got his 9-man rotation. We're not trying to figure out who's going to play, who's not going to play. Is this guy going to start? Is this guy going to get to play at all? Is he not going to play? He's got his rotation, and now it's just piecing that all together and get better at it.
How does that help the locker room, Coach, when you kind of already know your role as far as players? You kind of want to know what's expected of me, the camaraderie. Does that kind of – I know there's healthy competition, but knowing your role, man, that's big time to already know your role.
To already know your role, and they knew it a month ago, even before we went to that tip-off tour. You could kind of tell who the 9 were, what their role was going to be, as Jonas wasn't quite playing yet. But you knew what it was going to be with those 9 guys once he was back. And now if you're number 10 through 15, we have 15 guys on team, they got to keep working and pushing and trying to have their dreams to come back. But if you're these 9 guys, it's just get better at what you are expected to do. And they all know what they're supposed to do right now. He's made the roles. It's that picture has been painted, and the guys know. Now, if you're Billy Richmond and you're the 9th man, hey, yeah, I want to play a little bit more. I've got to impress Coach. I gotta be here early. I gotta stay late. I don't want to play 12 minutes a game. I want to make Coach play me 18 minutes a game as a freshman. So, there's those kind of stories that are involved in a team. But for the most part, 90% of their roles has already been shown. And that can change, though, throughout a season. Hopefully there's no injuries, but, they still can change. We may be looking at Billy Richmond. By the time we're in league play, he might be playing 22, 23 minutes a game because he's high energy. He's very long. He rebounds. Hey, he's in his second college game the other day, and him and Jeremy Roach get tied up. Roach kind of disrespected him, tossing the ball at him. He fired that ball out. He was ready to fight. It didn't matter to him that Roach was 23 years old, played 4 years. He didn't care about that. He has got a fire to him. He's a competitive guy. He's going to be good. He's not going to go out and make 6 threes, but he's a guy that can do a lot of different things for you. Same with Carter, and so it'll be interesting as this team continues to grow, and that's what these bye games coming up gives the team a chance to kind of come together, and we'll have a lot more idea how good this team can be as we go through these games before we head back to play Illinois.
Well, Zim, we're right about out of time here. I know we'll hear from you later tonight on the Coach Cal radio show. Here on ESPN Arkansas. Be on the call Wednesday. You better be on your game Saturday, spotting for Chuck. I won't be there. I'll be in L.A., so you won't have your assistant spotter. Hopefully you've got a third hand somewhere.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I found out from Learfield that you would be going with women's basketball to UCLA, which you need to do. That's a good thing, and L.A. will be very nice. You're kind of an L.A. guy with a Pittsburgh flair.
He is an L.A. guy, Coach.
He is an L.A. guy with a little Pittsburgh slash to him. But
I'm going to go change in my all-black suit for a moment here.
But it won't be the same without you up in the radio booth, so hopefully I won't get in too much trouble up there. So I might have to be ready. I might have to have a good night's sleep Friday night.
Better have those napkins ready to go, Zim. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on today.
All right. Okay. See y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Matt Zimmerman with us today on a Monday. Always like talking with Zim, and a happy Veterans Day to Matt Zimmerman, a former member of the United States Army, and to all of the other veterans who are listening out there right now. Thank you very much for your service to our country. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Stay with us. Hour number 1 wraps up after this.
Pat Jones, don't be so cool, dude.
This is halftime.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Are holidays stressful for you? Hey, Ty Richardson for the Whippoorwill. The Newmeyers would love to take care of some of that stress by providing you an awesome Thanksgiving dinner. Call the Whippoorwill at 479-769-2095 for the best Thanksgiving catering you've ever had. Smoked turkey breast, dressing, mashed potatoes, and turkey gravy with all the fixins. The Newmeyers' newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, taking care of your holiday this year.
Seems Thanksgiving Day is upon us.
This is
on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ES.
All day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go get fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Matt Jones just told me earlier I was a Los Angeles guy. I lived in California almost a year. L.A. felt so different from the rest of that state. I couldn't live there. I would never be able to live in Los Angeles.
LA's cool, man. I bet you I've spent 15 vacation days there. I went and saw the Lakers play the Celtics in an NBA Finals game there. Saw Kobe do his thing. You know, went to the Santa Monica Pier. But I'm with you. LA's it's definitely a totally different vibe than whatever's going in Arkadelphia.
Yeah. Visit, yes. Live, no. New York, I could do both.
I just don't want to pay $15 for a bottle of water. You know, it's like, come on, man. That's just I can't afford the lifestyle out there.
$5 gallon of gas, too. Brian in Ozark defines Los Angeles guy. He's with us here on Halftime Now. What's up, Brian? Happy Texas Week. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. First of all, happy Veterans Day to all your listeners.
Very good, yes.
And yes, this is the week that we've all been waiting for. You know, I believe that I'm sure you all watched the Florida-Texas game last week.
Yeah, I watched as much as I could stomach.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of good. You know, Quinn Ewers is back. He's 100%. He showed that when even though he didn't want to go out in the third quarter, they didn't need him. So, I mean, there was no purpose for him to keep playing. But my concern or my question for you guys would be, you know, I know that Armstrong is your best receiver. I don't believe that he's faced defensive backs like what he's fixing to face Saturday. I mean, Texas' defensive backs are better than Ole Miss's. And so he's not going to run wild on Texas' defense. I mean, what do you guys think? And, I mean, this is –
I don't think it's a matter necessarily of what Armstrong can do against them. I wonder if anybody else can get open. You know, I know Texas's defense is I didn't look at the rankings this week, but last week they were number one in the country against the pass and might have been ranked near the top, if not right at the top, in interceptions. So, yeah, but I wonder how they do against a quarterback who's healthy and can run, and that's the question for me going into this week. And the run game, you know, if Arkansas has and Brian, it's good to hear from you. I appreciate your call. I'm sure we'll hear from you later on in the week because I feel like it's almost Brian's favorite week of the whole year. He's been planning for this for the last couple of years. Green's got to be healthy, or at least healthy to where he can run. He cannot be somebody that's just going to drop back and try to evade the pass rush with a little bit of a slip of the shoulders or so. He's got to be able to run, and if he can't, maybe this is a week that you start Singleton. It's like you got to have all your available running backs and what your quarterback does best, which right now for Green, Matt, is run the ball.
Yeah, you had an extra week to heal up. Maybe there is a 2-quarterback system as far as a package for both guys. Would not be surprised. I mean, Singleton's kind of earned that right. He's got in a couple times, and he's done his thing. As far as Armstrong, I haven't seen anybody yet stop. I think Armstrong's an all-conference receiver. I haven't seen one team stop him yet. Maybe Texas can.
Yeah, Texas's pass defense, number one in the country at 135 yards per game. That is mighty low. 14 interceptions, tied for the nation's lead, too. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. We'll be back with our second hour after this.
Are you tired of processed meat and flimsy sandwiches? Subchain's gotten to your last nerve? Then I have the place for you. Come see my buddy Josefa at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Locally sourced meat sliced daily and fresh breads from Harvest Moon Bakery. Daily specials announced on Facebook, including the Poke Bowl every Friday and Saturday. For to-go orders, call 479-567-3403.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to Clarksville Saturday, November 16th and Sunday, November 17th. On Saturday, the doors open from 9 to 5 and Sunday from 9 till 3. The American Patriot Promotions Clarksville Gun Show is at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Tickets are just $10 per person and only $8 for military and police. Plus, veterans get in for only $5. Children 16 and under are free. Go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a bounty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 60s. Clear to partly cloudy sky tonight, and overnight low will drop down into the low 40s. Tuesday, sunny skies. The high will be in the low 60s north, upper 60s south. And then Wednesday, a chance of a few showers, highs near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones, man, take it to the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hey, welcome back. It's halftime. Kind of right in the middle of it. This would be the white stuff in your Oreo cookie if halftime were an Oreo cookie. Phil Elson here along with Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. We'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett in about 15 minutes. So the hotline's open for you at the moment, 877-377-6963. Sam Pittman's press conference beginning right about now. If there's any earth-shattering news, we'll pass it along as soon as we get the information. Gotta give an attaboy to the Auburn Tigers for a win over a good Houston team after Arkansas's loss to Baylor, but also coming after an apparent, I don't know if is the right word fight, or was it something that was about to escalate into a fight with a couple of their players that forced them to turn the plane around, which is something that I've never experienced in traveling with teams for the last, 25 years.
A little scrum, maybe? Don't make me take this belt off and turn this plane around, because I'll do it.
Look, I've heard that in a car before. About 40 years ago, I heard those very words in the car, minus the take the belt off kind of, don't make me stop this car. Those words have never been uttered on an airplane before. I even want to know, what is it that can lead to something like this? Well, we've heard about fights with teammates before, but you usually make sure that these things don't occur on a mode of transportation. I think most of the fights that I've been around involving teammates, which has never happened at Arkansas, it happened in the minor leagues a couple times, was reserved for when the ground was not moving, with the exception of one time, which I think I might have told the story before. Did you ever? I mean, Matt, you traveled with NFL teams, college football teams, college basketball teams. Not everybody is friendly all the time when they get on these modes of transportation. It's just you usually respect that you're moving at that moment.
Most of the scrums, altercations, they come out there in the middle of two-a-days. They come there. There's just different timing. You're tired. You've been practicing 13 straight days. I've never seen one, Phil. Never seen one on the plane before. Usually it's a little more docile when you're on the plane. You got to go play a game, so everybody's resting. You got your headphones
go
on.
to sleep, right?
Exactly.
So the first thing I do when I get on an airplane is close my eyes, for crying out loud. You can't hurt anybody when your eyes are closed. So I was this must have been, I think, 2006. I'm on a bus with the Arkansas Travelers. It's a late night bus ride because we're going all the way to Corpus Christi and basically traveling on an off day. And there were a couple of bottles that had gotten loose on the bus. And the top prospect on the team, who also was the top prospect in minor league baseball at that point, he had hit 41 homers at Single A the year before. And a big burly first baseman. I don't want to throw their names out there, but a big burly first baseman who was not the top prospect in the organization, and they had not invested millions of dollars in him, but also was the kind of guy that could crush your hand if he shook it, and if he had a little something, to tip back, he didn't realize his strength. Well, the two of them end up next to each other, and I'm kind of beside the two of them on the bus, and the bottles had been passed around quite a bit at that point. And big burly guy just took a very friendly slap onto Prospect's face. Prospect didn't take that very well. And the next thing you know, me, 5'9", 175-pound me, is between a giant and a top prospect that are throwing blows at each other. This was, 12:30 in the morning. The bus, at that point, you couldn't have turned around because we were somewhere in the middle of Texas. It would have taken as much time to drive back to Little Rock as it would have taken to drive to Corpus. And it was not a very pretty sight. And I lived to tell the story, too, between these guys.
Usually, Phil, it happens. I go back to some of the teams my dad coached in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and then going even to high school, to college. You see fights every year. Some coaches will say if your team doesn't get into at least one fight, that you don't have a tough team. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but some people, they like to see a little bit of that, the fighting, the animosity or whatever. But every single coach I've had, whether it be my pops, Houston Nuts, Jack Del Rio, those three, they nipped it in the bud right away. Like if something was going on, we got to the bottom of it within 24 hours, and you didn't have repeat offenders, so to speak.
Well, see, like in football, it's such an intense sport that I can appreciate the idea because of the physicality, that there may be things that are taken the wrong way just in how somebody is hit, and that fights can erupt from this. And the personalities, I think, in football are quite a bit different from where I come from. With baseball, teammates this doesn't happen unless somebody stole from someone else or they just have a personality conflict that bubbles up, and usually they're able to put that thing to the side. These guys spend 6 months around each other sometimes. And that moment on the bus was just guys that had too much to drink. And the Angels, our affiliate, they banned booze on the bus from that point. They allowed it up until that moment. From that moment on, and they still may have a ban on alcohol on the bus. And it's funny, too, because when I first started in working in baseball, it didn't feel like you were allowed to have booze on the bus. It was almost like a requirement to have some liquor of some sort on the bus that you might share with somebody. And then they banned it because that's where the fight came from. Add a little alcohol late at night and a couple of guys that don't realize their own strength. I'll show you a good fight on a bus. Shouldn't happen on a plane, though, man. That's kind of crazy. And then they go out and they win the game against a good Houston team. So, go figure, right?
Auburn, they have that Braum kid that's coming back, their big power forward. He's an absolute stud. Does it say what kids were in the altercation? Was it like starters or was it backups?
I do have the names. Ja'Kai Howard and Jaheim Hudson.
Okay,
are the names. They were leaked out, and they didn't make the trip. They were flown back to That's about Auburn. A lot of times you're not flying out of Auburn. You're flying out of Opelika or you're flying out of Columbus. So I don't know if they actually went back to Auburn.
Smaller planes when you go basketball. Sometimes when with Nolan, we would take 2 planes. I don't know if they take 2 planes anymore, but it's definitely a smaller plane, smaller airport that you can go out of the basketball team.
I think this year the men's team does take 2 planes.
Yeah.
I don't think they were before, but they are now.
I was always trying to get on the one with Nolan. I'm like, I want to get on his plane just in case something. Yeah.
It's gonna have the one that has the stronger duct tape.
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Charlie's here. Speaking of Charlie's the friendliest guy who calls in. I was going to just make a sarcastic thing speaking of fights, but Charlie, it doesn't work with you. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
But, Phil, now I have a pass. I mean, the tuna that
you don't need to get into that past here. No. You do not need to get into that past. Save that for everyone else you're texting with.
I don't. Well, I've never been in an actual but I have been on a bus with a situation like you had, except thank God I wasn't. You said you were right in the middle of these 2 people. Were you trying to almost break them up, or did you try to slither your way up from out of there?
I wanted to break it up. First of all, I had no choice. So there were 2 aspects to this. One, I like both of these guys. They were really nice guys, to me at least.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to see them fighting. And then the other aspect was I think I was also trying to save my life because in a bus like this, it's really close quarters. There might not have been much room for me to slither out of the way. So I wasn't going to start throwing blows. So it's just try to push them out of the way as best as I could. And I guess it was good I didn't have as much to drink as they did at that point.
Well, you were just waiting on the cavalry, the teammates, to come help you, right? Please, somebody get back here so I don't have to hold this guy back. And you were just waiting on the cavalry to come. I get it. But I will tell you, 2 of the bestest friends, 2 of the nicest guys I saw get in one right before we left on the bus. And these are 2 seniors. These are 2 of my really good friends. And then, by the way, they drove each other home right after that. So a lot of times with guys, we just get into it and we're done, That's how it is. But anyway, I will say that Auburn and Houston game was a good game. Look, the Arkansas-Baylor game was a really good basketball game. I know we came up short, but I think a lot of people are already – I knew this was going to happen right after one loss. There was going to be some people, here we go. The offense looks the same as Kentucky or this and that. And I'm like, they haven't even – as he said after the game, they haven't really practiced against zone defense yet. And so they're going to keep getting better. Look, I think the one thing I am worried about, though, Phil, is Nelly Davis's wrist. And it's his shooting wrist. And he hit it again in the game the other day. I don't know, Matt, you would know. You know what I mean by shooting. If you can't fully get that follow-through without your wrist hurting, a lot of times what you do as a shooter, you kind of just push it up there. You don't follow all the way through. You use your guide hand, but you don't flick that wrist all the way through. And I think he's having some issues right now. This guy's a 40% three-point shooter, and he is in no rhythm at this point. So I am a little worried about that. And just the health of the team, him and the big guy, Adu, they need to get healthy. And that's the thing that's worrisome. It's not the fact that we lost to a good Baylor team because I think we got plenty of talent. Anyways, I'll hang up. Listen, y'all have a good one.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Well, I mean, so it's a 9-man rotation right now. 2 of them are not at 100%. I don't want to throw a fly in the ointment or anything, but that is some of the things that was an issue last year, the year before, early season injuries that kind of nagged on the rest of the year. Think about Trevin Brazile, think about Nick Smith, a couple of other guys too. So yeah, I mean, you gotta wonder about that now, but you also gotta think that guys can heal as well, and once they do, they'll be just fine. You got to heal first.
Yeah, you got flare screens. You can skip past. There's a lot more to do against that zone defense that we didn't really do much of. And I think it's a lot of teaching moments out there. Baylor, their coach, one of the best zone. And they're so athletic. But there's a couple things you can do, and it seems I don't think that the offense got stagnant, but they definitely lacked ideas. So it was just kind of, this is what we're gonna do. There wasn't a purpose with it. It was just like, okay, we'll go here. Teaching moment, go in, put some stuff. They'll be fine. If you're just looking at what you've seen from this Hog team, I think you gotta smile. I do. I think there's a lot of talent on this team. If they figure it out, I don't know how far they can go. But there is, man. There's a lot of talent on this basketball team.
Yeah, a lot of talent. It's not the kind of game that you look at and be like, you know what? Once they get down into March, when they're facing a team that's just like this, the same thing's going to happen. I just don't buy that what happens in November is what's going to happen in March. So, yeah, I can't walk away thinking, yeah, this team's everything that the Kentucky fans said is going to happen because of this game. Give me a break. You know who feels like that about Arkansas? Kentucky fans do. That's how they're always going to feel about them as long as Cal's the coach. All right, quick break here on halftime. We'll get into 3 Up, 3 Down. Want to remind you first about outstanding specials going on at Fish City Grill in Rogers. There's cilantro lime shrimp tacos right now, stuffed with 18 blackened shrimp, coated with cilantro lime vinaigrette, topped with jalapeno guacamole, cheddar jack cheese, lettuce, tomato, and pico de gallo, seared Texas redfish, seared to perfection, topped with Thanksgiving oyster dressing, and a warm winter herb beurre blanc. That's 479-636-8833 to call Fish City Grill for your curbside pickup or delivery. You can just show up at South Bellevue Road, Rogers, online at fishcitygrill.com. 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center. After this, it's halftime.
This is halftime. Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mall.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On
Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Starshines the sky. Now your eyes are running dry. Ooh, like the spring. I take my spot in time. No fool is not your best friend and brother. You choose first, ask questions later. Anybody mess with you, pretty soon we'll all be tumbling like a barrel down from the top of the water.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Good to be back with you here on Halftime on this very sunny Monday. A little chillier across the natural state, but that's perfectly okay. We got Dr. Charlie Liggett in studio today from River Valley Smile Center, so let's do it. 3 up, 3 down.
3 up, 3 down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Dr. Liggett, it's always good to have you in studio today. You got plans tonight? You got your Dolphins on TV, right?
Oh, big game tonight.
Very big game tonight. Starting to claw your way back into contention in the single worst division in the National Football League. So
it's rough.
Yes, it's rough. I don't know if it'll get any better. But let's. I'll start here with my first up. I'm going to go to Major League Baseball, and it's because teams are now beginning to embrace direct-to-consumer streaming packages. I can't believe it's actually taken this long to get here. If you want fans to be fans, then you got to make it easier for them to watch games. Think of what the NFL has done with with the Sunday Ticket. And for years, the blackout rules for Major League Baseball, while they might have made some kind of financial sense for rights fees and everything that went along with them, all it did was piss fans off when they were traveling and wanted to see their team. Now it's starting to happen with the dissolution of the old Bally Sports and the ownership Diamond Sports going into bankruptcy. We're starting to see a lot of this now. The Cardinals, the Twins, the Brewers, the Guardians, the Padres, the Angels. There'll be some more teams that will do this. And apparently it looks like it may cost $20 a month, and you can watch every game that month for that team. I love this idea. I love it. I think there will be fans across the country that will pony up $20 a month, basically comes to $100 a year to watch any game you want of your team. Is different than having MLB.TV, in which, you live in Arkansas, you can't watch the Royals, you can't watch the Cardinals, you can't watch the Astros, you can't watch the Rangers. It makes no sense. This makes so much more sense. I think it'll make Major League Baseball money. It's going to create more fans. Let people watch the games they want to watch as long as they'll pay for it. I'm fine with this. First down, college football fans continue to throw things on the field. If they disagree with a call, now that we've seen the opening at Texas, they're going to throw things on the field. It happened in a few other places this week. I can't remember all of them, but I know it happened in Salt Lake City. I think it happened in Baton Rouge. Stop throwing things on the field. Texas did the right thing by going through videos of the incident a few weeks ago, took away student tickets from those the students who did throw those empty water bottles on the field. There are cameras everywhere. And if the people who run these stadiums care about the safety of the people on the field and just acting like a real human being instead of an idiot, they're going to take these people's tickets away too. Stop throwing things on the field, except your own breath. Go ahead, Matt. You're first up and down.
All right. Man, I'm going to go with college football for both my first up and down. My first up goes to Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels. Man, that was a big win for them. Keeps them in the playoff hunt. I thought Jackson Dart, he got hurt early, was able to come back in. I mean, that Ole Miss defense, best team we played so far this year, I think, just as far as offense, defense, special teams. Ole Miss is, man, that's a big-time win for them. And then my first down is the other one, the LS Who's, that where did all the Tigers go? Because they didn't have nothing for Alabama. They couldn't stop them. Alabama made LSU like it early, often, whatever you want to say. This game was over at halftime. It really was. LSU never really looked comfortable. Milroe, a beast. 12 carries, 185 yards, and 4 tuds. Ooh.
But Baton Rouge Saturday night, all I hear is it's the toughest place to play.
89% win percentage. They didn't care. Alabama didn't care about that.
Hey, it was
and
pretty
made
cool.
them like it.
It was pretty cool having 2 6-2 teams, and the game actually meant something.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. All right,
That's
Doc.
right. Absolutely. All right, Doc, you're up. Go ahead.
Okay, with the Dolphins off on Sunday, not playing till tonight, I got to watch a lot more NFL football. And man, that early slate of games was really, really a lot of good games. The San Francisco-Tampa Bay game with Baker Mayfield extended plays and avoiding sacks and sending it to overtime. Just didn't have enough to pull it out. In the Denver-Kansas City game, the 72 Dolphins can keep that champagne on ice because they blocked a game-winning field goal.
Wow.
And Bill, congrats to Pittsburgh. That was
fun.
Matt's Fugazi, Russell Wilson got it done.
Ooh.
Doesn't look Fugazi right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the only Fugazi here.
Well, I mean, here's you and I were talking off air a little bit about it. They got a quarterback who can make throws now instead of hoping that there's a quarterback who might learn how to make some of these throws. And he also did the old pro thing yesterday. I couldn't believe it. It's 4th down and 1, and they got Wilson out there in midfield. All they were trying to do was draw Washington off sides, and he did it. I couldn't even believe that they did. The look on their faces, on Pittsburgh's face, like, how did they actually jump offside? Can't tell me that actually happened. It was fun. Those were great games. The first window yesterday.
They were.
You're right.
And my first down is the Hogs 3-point shooting.
25%. Yeah.
They're not a 25% 3-point team. I mean, I don't think that's what we're going to be talking about at the end of the year. I think it'll just take some time, kind of like Kentucky last year, But I think they're good. I think Cal's going to get it all put together for them.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see other teams. We had Coach Z on before you got in here, Doc, and if you see more teams play a little zone against us because our guard heavy. I mean, you can't stay in front of any of our guards. If you can't prove that you can shoot it, I could see teams lining up and sprinkling some zone in if it's after a timeout, if it's after a free throw, but whatever, just to try to change a pace, especially if we don't get that 3-point percentage clip up.
And Cal's talked about it. They haven't had a chance to practice against the zone. They hadn't been able to practice with injuries and whatnot. So I think they'll get it together.
I guess one way to work on beating a zone is to get up some shots in the gym.
Make some shots.
That looks like that would be the thing. Second up for me, I'm going to go to Kalen DeBoer, the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Like, I understand he's not Nick Saban, and this might not be the Alabama teams of Saban's time there, maybe not even of last year. But he's got wins over Kirby Smart and Brian Kelly this year. There aren't a lot of coaches that can say that they've beaten those two coaches in the same year. Although I will say Lane Kiffin has done the same thing too. But in the last 2 years, DeBoer also has wins over some other coaches that you put on the list of some of the best coaches in the sport. Taking down, I wouldn't put Lincoln Riley at that level any longer. I don't know if I ever would have. Beat Whittingham. He beat Dan
Sarkisian.
Lanning twice last year, beat Sarkisian in the playoffs. Yes, he lost to Michigan and lost to lost to Harbaugh, but first year in the SEC to beat Kirby Smart. First of all, Smart over Kelly, because I didn't think Georgia was going to lose another game. So I'm impressed with Kalen DeBoer, and I think he's going to be at Alabama for a good long time. Second down is the state of Florida. Division I football and NFL teams went 0-11 over the weekend. That's right. This is before the Dolphins play. All right. Yeah. The Bucs lost. The Jags lost. The Gators, the Owls, the Hurricanes, the Seminoles, the Bulls, the Knights, FAMU. What are they? The Rattlers. Bethune-Cookman, I don't remember who Bethune-Cookman is, and Stetson's the Rattlers. They all lost. They're 0-11. Dr. Liggett, the state of Florida's football hopes rest on your Dolphins tonight.
They're going to do it.
I think Bethune-Cookman's some type of tiger cat. I think if I'm remembering right.
You could probably say like 30% of the teams in college sports are one of those.
LT Gray. My second up goes to an Arkansan named Jake Bates. 52-yard walk-off for the Detroit Lions. They're 8-1. Texans solid team, 6-4. I think the Texans they still got enough to get into the playoffs. Lions look like the favorite out of the NFC. They continue to impress. And then my second down, I'm going to stay with the field goal unit and special teams. What's going on with the Denver Broncos? Could not protect the field goal all day. I mean, there's about 3 times. They did the same rush. The Chiefs did the same exact rush on every single field goal, like setting them up. And the left tackle or your left guard, whoever it was, he just gets bull rushed right over. You got to protect.
I don't remember who the name of the guy who blocked the kick, but it looked like there were 2 or 3 Chiefs that would have had an opportunity that blew through the spot that you're talking about.
And that was the same. They ran the same field goal block on 3 times in a row. So, but hey, you got to get lucky every once in a while, and the Chiefs done it. Chiefs 9-0, Broncos fall to 5-5.
Got to be good to be as lucky as they've been, I guess. Dr. Liggett, what do you got for number 2?
Number 2. Has it ever happened before on a Veterans Day weekend that Army, Navy, Air Force, and Liberty all win?
I don't know. They would take a little somebody check on the U.S. Merchant Marine football team. I think they still have one. Does the Coast Guard have a football program too?
I don't know.
Coast Guard Academy?
I've never seen them play.
That's actually, you're right. I mean, it would take a lot of research. Liberty's only been Division I for how long now, but it might be worth the research.
All right, and my next down is the Cowboys' woes.
Whoa.
Man, CeeDee Lamb missing that touchdown because of the sun in his eyes. Just, all that talent, that going down, that's tough to be a Cowboys fan.
All right, so I'll do my third up, and then my third down is just what you were getting at there, Charlie. Third up is, I don't know if you've seen this series yet. It's on Apple Plus. It's called Disclaimer. Stars Borat. It stars Kevin Kline, Cate Blanchett. It's an outstanding show. I got 2 more episodes left. But my third up is to Layla George, who plays the younger version of Cate Blanchett. I didn't realize this until I looked her up today. For those who remember Vincent D'Onofrio and Greta Scacchi, who was a great actress that I remember watching some of her movies in the early 90s. Layla George is their daughter. She is stunning. She is outstanding in her role, and there are some scenes in one of these episodes that made me roll off the couch yesterday. Layla George, way up. Third down, AT&T Stadium. We brought it up a couple of weeks ago. I didn't even realize that they do have curtains for those windows. They use those curtains for concerts or for WrestleMania. They'll probably use it for the Tyson-Paul fight. But they don't use them for Dallas Cowboy football games. I can't understand the reason why. I was reading about this, maybe aesthetically because the way the sun comes in looks attractive to fans, but it's miserable for football. I mean, whatever reason is there, and look, this is not why they lost yesterday's game. This is not why the Cowboys, haven't been to the Super Bowl since '95. That's not it. But I mean, why have this factor as any kind of factor in a football game? Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. And I'll never understand why. Even if Jerry were standing there in front of me and explain it, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, Matt, you've tried to catch balls with the sun in your eye before. It didn't look to me like CD just never saw it. Again, it's not why they lost.
I don't think he ever saw it, Phil. And that's the thing. You seeing the ball out of their hand. It's if you can't pick it up. I mean, you see it happen in Major League Baseball. Sometimes they try to flip it. Sometimes you don't see it. Go ahead. Let's do it. Third down. Nobody cares about your fantasy team, but my fantasy quarterback, Dillon Gabriel, has 179 total touchdowns in his collegiate career. Not all this season, because then that would be another record. But he sets the record, which I'm sure with all this these portal jumps and everything, somebody will probably catch it. But 179 is still some games to go as the number 1 Oregon Ducks continue to win. And then going to the whole opposite coast, we've already been kind of jumping on the Florida football scene, but let's do one more. Florida State, they are 1-9 on the year since not making to the playoff 4 last year. They have won 1 game. Wow.
I have never heard of such a turn. I've never heard of anything like this before. Go first to worst, like that's happened in some situations. But to go from last year's Seminoles to this year's Seminoles with such a discrepancy in the record is absolutely mind-blowing.
They'll be on Zulu or Job Finder for a new OC and DC and a receiver coach.
Kids not using LinkedIn to get football jobs now? Yeah. Dr. Liggett, take us home.
Okay, my third up was I don't know if you guys saw this, it was early, but Sean Hockley in the game in Munich makes the call for a penalty in German, but that was I guess a shout out to his dad who did the same thing in Mexico in Spanish, and
that's pretty cool.
I want to figure out. I want to get on the Hockley bicep. Those guys.
Well, here's the thing I wonder. It's like, so how do father and son have to compete at certain things? How do they compete at what it is that they do or did professionally in a football sense? Would they have to have like some sort of a thumb wrestling match? Would it be like a slap fight the two of them would have to have, just a spinach eating contest to see who looks more like Popeye? I don't know. Any one of those 3 things could work and be entertaining.
I think they arm wrestle.
Arm wrestling works. Just have them get a trucker hat, turn it around, and just, scream like Sly. That's fine.
Switch. My third down was Utah's athletic director, Mark Harlan. Did you hear this in the press conference? He was fined $40,000 for blasting the Big 12 officiating crew.
Did you guys see the play that he was complaining about?
Yeah, I saw
this
it.
Holding call.
Yeah.
On 4th down. Wade, I guess, what was it, on the 5-yard line or something? It was absolutely holding. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah.
It was. You could tell from the regular TV shot the way that the receiver was pulled. It absolutely was holding. I don't think the athletic director had a leg to stand on. So that's the last. That's the last one he's got.
That was it.
Yeah.
Well, and the other aspect about that game, it's like they still have to go all the way down the field. Like, I understand if it was a bad call, but they still have to go all the way down the field, but it wasn't a bad call. I mean, you could see looked to me like the defensive back might have pulled a shoulder pad, might have gotten maybe a little bit of face mask. I'm not quite sure, but you could see the way that the receiver's body moved, that he was held and pulled.
If you talk about officiating in a press conference, you're going to get fined. So, I mean, he had to know that he's going to get fined over that, right?
And I got one more up. Stanley Tucci, it's his birthday today. It's Leonardo DiCaprio's birthday today, and it's Dr. Charlie's birthday today. So happy birthday, Dr. Charlie.
Thank you, sir.
Not enough time to sing a full version of Happy Birthday, though, but absolutely, Dr. Liggett, happy birthday to you.
Thank
3
you.
up, 3 down.
I'll just take a Dolphins win.
There we go. There we go.
Of a birthday present. That's right. What do you get the guy who's got everything? A win for his NFL team. 3 up, 3 down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Matt's a patient of Dr. Liggett. You can be too.
Yeah, come by and check them out. They're best of the best for 9 years in a row. And when you get in there, they treat you like family.
I know Dr. Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You guys, do your best taking care of veterans at Operation Stand Down a couple of weeks ago. What else is going on at River Valley Smile Center?
We focus on cosmetics, but we also do family dentistry, fillings, crowns, extractions, whitening, sleep apnea treatment, implants. We do a lot of sedation, so you can be asleep for your dental treatment. We're about the only office around that offers sedation while you're getting your dental work done. Also, I wanted to mention, getting close to the end of the year, if you've got insurance that you haven't used, if you don't use it, you lose it. So come on in and use that insurance up.
Doc, it's always great having you around. Don't forget the phone number at River Valley Smile Center, 479-646-0706. Their website is rivervalleysmiles.com. Doc, take us home.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
Dr. Charlie Liggett.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
This is halftime.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, Wes. Billy, K is for horses. Are my ears that long?
Oh, you got me again. I'm going to order a large Boss Hog pizza for fishing tomorrow.
That's a lot of food. You taking a friend?
No, sir. I'm going to use it as bait.
Pizza as bait for fishing?
Yes'm. The catfish love 'em, some Jim's Razorback pizza.
They do?
Yes'm. They chase the bacon faster than green grass through a goose.
Bacon? Never would have thunk it.
Yup, and they come right to the river's edge when I call them too. Woo! Fish suing!
Oh, blessed Billy. All right, son. Have fun fishing.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you.
Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes. What if without eyes to leave them open for so long?
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Well, you get some good news from Sam Pittman's press conference. Taylen Green practiced every day last week and will be, quote, fine, unquote, for Saturday's game against Texas. So I guess that'll throw away the conversation as to 100% or not, who's going to start. Taylen Green's going to be your quarterback. Also, Sam apparently said Braylon Russell will be, quote, unquote, fine. And Jaquindon Jackson hoping that Jaquindon can practice today. So that wouldn't necessarily give you the greatest hope in the world that he's at 100%, but if he's able to practice Monday, maybe he'll be able to play on Saturday. So I think we know who's the running back, or who's the quarterback for Saturday, Matt. I just wonder about Jackson right now.
Yeah, that's good news. That to hear about Taylen. Do we know about our secondary? I wonder how healthy our defense is. Metcalf, is he healthy? Is number 18? Is he coming back in? I know you said that he's outside of the pool now. He's actually back on field activities.
There's another cornerback that I wondered if you start seeing enough, because you only have 3 games left, and you don't have to worry about redshirt for someone who hasn't played much. Selman Bridges, who I read a lot about Bridges in the preseason. Freshman cornerback, might have been the highest rated recruit in the incoming class, and I haven't seen him, so I don't know the reason why. If it's a matter of trying to keep the red shirt on him, but maybe just for depth concerns or purposes, maybe we see Bridges later this week if guys that you're hoping might get back to play are not healthy and ready to go. 877-377-6963 is our phone number. And also, Coach was asked about the hip, and it looks like he says he'll have hip replacement surgery after the Missouri game, which would be before a bowl game. So you're going into the offseason, and keep in mind all the other things that are happening right after the Missouri game. The week later, the portal opens. That week is an important week. And look, I want Coach to get his hip fixed. I'm not saying he shouldn't that week. It's just there's a lot going on in college football that week. Players are making their decisions. There's probably a lot of meetings you got to have. And preparing, hopefully, for a bowl game about a month or so later. So, but I don't, because you can tell how painful this has been for him. He says he knew he's had to have surgery since before the start of the season. About 140 days ago, he learned he needs hip replacement surgery. Wow. That's painful. That's painful even to read and think about. All right, we'll break here in halftime in a moment. If you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake, Table Rock, you might be looking for a trophy brown on the Mighty White. Make sure the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue is with you. It's going to catch him with that famous rolling action. Whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current, you'll find it stays in the strike zone longer and you'll catch more fish. That's the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue. Find it at Walmart, Bass Pro, Academy, LearNet, and tackle stores all over the place. We'll wrap up the second hour of halftime right after this.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is halftime.
Have you tried the TGI Friday weekday deals? On Monday, they have 50-cent wings, traditional or boneless, 10-piece minimum. Tuesday, cheeseburgers and fries with a fountain drink for $10. On Wednesday, Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta for only $12. On Thursday, enjoy a half a rack of ribs for only $12. Stop by and check out the weekday deals at TGI Fridays, I-540 at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. In here, it's always Friday.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
It's the Christmas open house with a big 2-day sale at the Solid Rock. Friday and Saturday, the 22nd and 23rd. Enjoy the festive Christmas atmosphere and enjoy savings throughout the store. Select Caruso shirts for $12, women's devotionals for less than $8, and brand new personalized jewelry. Tons of door prizes and sales, and traditional wassail will be served. Come kick off the Christmas season at the Solid Rock. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith, the Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. The merger of two good companies brings together strengths to make one great company. Regerson is now Sharp Equipment. Even though it will no longer have Joe, Jesse, or Sheila as they go off on another adventure, the foundation they have laid is now a strong asset along with Sharp Equipment to complement its offerings to their great customers. Sharp Equipment would like to thank the Taylors and look forward to continuing to serve the River Valley and beyond. Stop in at 5608 Wheeler Avenue and see what all Sharp Equipment has to offer.
Are holidays stressful for you? Hey, Ty Richardson for the Whippoorwill. The Newmeyers would love to take care of some of that stress by providing you an awesome Thanksgiving dinner. Call the Whippoorwill at 479-769-2095 for the best Thanksgiving catering you've ever had. Smoked turkey breast, dressing, mashed potatoes, and turkey gravy with all the fixins. The Newmeyers' newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, taking care of your holiday this year.
Seems Thanksgiving Day is upon us.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
When it came to pass, glory passed me by. Fate, with a single blow, is custard pie me now. True, I had my chance. True, I had those wild shots for you. And my fire burned the past.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
So I'm told basically after hip surgery is over, you'll be able to walk right out of the hospital and get right back to work. So, hey, get the thing done, and then you'll be able to go through your meetings and figure out what the team will look like for a bowl game and for the following season, and hopefully won't be anything like the pain that I think he obviously is in right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be having the surgery right when the season's over. It's like 4 months worth of pain. It just sounds absolutely miserable for Sam Pittman. 877-377-6963. I think some folks take the idea that he's going to have hip surgery when the regular season's over is a sign that he's going to retire. I don't think that's the case at all. I think he views that as, the next time that you don't have to plan for a game the next week or the week after that. I think that's why that's happening.
Yeah, man, that's no good. Got the best doctors up there, the best treatment staff up there, so you get it right and maybe beat Texas, get a little 4-year extension maybe, and there you go.
That's right. I think you would get an extension with a win over them. Yeah,
at least 2 years. I think every year you beat Texas, they should add 2 years to your contract.
You mentioned Jake Bates in your 3-up, 3-down map. Bates and Cam Little are a combined 27 for 28 on field goals this year. In their rookie seasons, 27 for 28. Bates has made all 14.
It's almost like when you had Priest Holmes backing up Ricky Williams. It's like you got two just guys that are all Americans that can play on Sundays, but it's like, well, we got the one guy's a little bit better though. Or Oklahoma State when they had Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders.
But at least the second guy got to carry the ball sometimes. Like all Bates did was kickoffs. That's all he did was kickoffs. What a story. And who's in the better position now? They're both well-paid pros, probably a little more than Bates because he was drafted. But the situations they're in couldn't be any different. The Jaguars stink. They might be the worst team in the NFL. Cam Little might be their best offensive player.
He was our best player.
Jake Bates is on a team that I think should win the NFC this year. Jake Bates may be kicking in the Super Bowl for crying out loud. I mean, the story gets better and better with Bates every single week. Think about if it goes from where it was a year ago when I think a lot of our listeners right now might not have known his name, and he very well may end up kicking in the Super Bowl, and he's perfect, right? He's actually having a better year than Cam is, and Cam's having a great rookie year. It's kind of shocking. But good for those two guys. Yeah, he's 14 out of 14, has made 3 50-yard field goals, and the only thing he's done is he's missed an extra point. 32 of 33 on extra points. Now that they pushed that back a little bit farther a few years ago. Well, good for the two of them. Got good kicking at the University of Arkansas. All right, got another hour to go of halftime. We'll have lots of time for calls and texts at 877-377-6963. And if, let's see, we'll talk with Mike Irwin in about 20 minutes. He was in on the Sam Pittman press conference. Bruce says you can't be serious about giving Pittman a contract extension. I'll tell you what, Bruce, if they beat Tennessee and Texas at home this year, and both teams are top 5, and you go to a bowl game with 7 wins, who knows? Maybe they'll be thinking about it.
We beat Texas. We're going to win 3 in a row to finish the season, and we'll probably win 4 in a row. If we beat Texas, we're going to win. We'll beat La Tech, Missouri, and win our bowl game. Absolutely.
And at the same time, it's a very big if, because that would be a huge upset on Saturday at Razorback Stadium. And we don't give out the contracts either. We just talk about them. Stay with halftime into our third hour right after this.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911. In addition to AOG, remember, if you smell gas, act fast and always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a bounty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 60s. Clear to partly cloudy sky tonight, and overnight low will drop down into the low 40s. Tuesday, sunny skies. The high will be in the low 60s north, upper 60s south. And then Wednesday, a chance of a few showers, highs near 70. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that can respect it.
If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. We move into our third and final hour, 1 minute after 1 o'clock. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Colton Little, C45 in the producer's chair right now. We'll be talking in about 15 minutes with Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation, who was in on the Sam Pittman teleconference today. And here's one from the presser. Coach has shown the team some tape from Arkansas's 1964 win over Texas, as well as some other games over the years, to introduce them to the history of the rivalry. This is a tweet coming from Christina Long from Whole Hog Sports. Well, we got somebody right here on this show who knows all what it's like to play against the Longhorns. You played against them twice, right, Matt?
We had a game down there in Austin. I want to say Chance Mock was their quarterback. Roy Williams was one of their receivers. They had a lot of talent on that team. Vince Young started the next week, I think, and they went on to beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl and then win the national championship. So they had all sorts of talent. So maybe that was what got them focused up. But yeah, I went down there and I think it was a 38-24. Cedric Cobbs, George Wilson, that defense played amazing. We had some fourth down conversions. Mark Pierce. Yeah, man, it was fun. It was fun. And then the total opposite the next year, end up losing a heartbreaker and one of the only college games that I ever cried after. So it's, it means a lot to people in the state and to the Arkansas Razorbacks anytime you get a chance to play Texas because they're the blue chip, they get all the 4 and 5 stars. They have all the money, they don't care about a $250,000 fine. They have $1 billion. So it always means a little more when you play against Texas.
I know there just had to be an amazing amount of hype around, the Cotton Bowl in 2000 and the regular season games in 03 and 04 because in a lot of people's minds, the rivalry was still fresh from the Southwest Conference days. It hadn't even been 9 years or after they played in the Cotton Bowl. And, now you're looking at it's been 30 years since these programs were in the same league.
I think we're 6-4 or 5-5 in the last 10. So it's not like
done well against them.
Yeah, the last 10, I think we're right there.
Win over the Texas Bowl. You had the win in 2021, the last couple of times out. But it is interesting, the idea of needing to play just some video from some of the legendary games between those two programs from back in the Southwest Conference days. I would even think that some of the kids that are from the state of Arkansas, they understand that Texas is a rival, but it's got to be a lot different for them than it was for you guys, Matt, because you guys grew up sort of in the, the jet fumes of what was left of the rivalry after Arkansas ditched the conference and went on to other pastures. But now you didn't need to be educated about the rivalry. And I understand why in today's day and age, maybe you just not like Alabama and Auburn need to have video on some of the great games that they've played over the years. It's not like, like Texas and OU need that kind of video. But for Arkansas and Texas, I think it makes sense. Our listeners, for those of a certain age, you feel that in your bones. That's why Eddie was calling up talking about the Texas game back in June. But to some of our other listeners who are still in their 20s, you've been seeing a game that you've actually been in the same conference in Texas in your entire life. That's why, to me, it feels like a resumption of the rivalry. Because now it's not a matter of, our ADs decided we can play each other on a home and home, and maybe we'll see each other in a bowl and all of that. Because I come from a college program, Matt, that doesn't have any rivalries anymore. I grew up with Pitt. They played Penn State and West Virginia every year, and those games meant something. It's not the same. They don't play each other every year. I know Arkansas and Texas won't play each other every year now, but they're going to play each other a heck of a lot more now than they did in the last 30 years. And to me, this is a resumption of the rivalry. And the other aspect of this is, too, a 2-loss Texas team, there's no guarantee that they're going to the playoff because they do not have a signature win. They do not have a signature win this year. Michigan, maybe that could have been, but this is not last year's Michigan. Oklahoma, maybe that could have been, but that's not the Oklahoma that they've grown up and known. They lost to Georgia. You know who the best win for Texas is right now? Vanderbilt. Vandy. Texas loses to Texas A&M, and if that's their second loss, they will end up being outside looking in. Although now that I think about it, Matt, we're talking about humans that are making the decision as to the playoff 12. They have biases. Maybe a 2-loss Texas team would get in no matter what.
Man, you look at Texas's cupcake schedule because, you think, well, Michigan could be good. Well, they're not. And then Georgia, the only team that's like a real team, just smashed them. They didn't even belong on the field. You come out there, you can hit them a little bit. We know Florida's not that good. If our defense shows back up, we had time to rest stuff. Our defense comes out, and the thing that scares me, or not necessarily scares me, Phil, but makes me a little nervous is when we've played against a quarterback that's like a legitimate quarterback, we have not looked good at all this year.
the other aspect about, the good quarterbacks, the ones who are veterans and can go through progressions and look off coverages.
They can diagnose, yeah.
But they've also had all day long to throw. Jackson Dart had all day. Garrett Nussmeier had all day. The Oklahoma State guy had a little bit of the day.
Brandon Whedon.
Bowman had a little bit of the That's right. He had a little bit of the day. But you're right. He's got to find a way to, make him uncomfortable, make him move a little bit. And I know Ewers can move a little bit too, but it's like Nussmeier never had to move. Dart really never had to move very much. You can't just let him sit in the pocket, pick you apart, because they will. Because they absolutely will.
The thing, too, that Texas's wideouts, they might be. LSU's wideouts, Phil, that's the best group of most talented wideouts we've played. Ole Miss didn't have all their bullets, and we made their guy look like an All-American. But Texas they have the most speed. They have the best collection of receivers that this Arkansas team is win against this year. I'd put them up there with LSU because we didn't get to see the kid from Ole Miss. He's the best player, supposed to be the best receiver in the conference. So, we didn't see him.
Yeah, apparently they don't really need him.
Apparently they don't need him. But Texas, they got some dudes. They got some speed where if they get by you, they'll take a 6-yard pass and go 80.
It's just the thing with and Hogwild Texas, the big name brands get the benefit of the doubt come selection time, and I get that. But there are a lot of big name brands here. Understood, Texas may be one of the biggest of those brands. But you got to look as to who you've beaten too. There could very well be 7 teams that are competing for playoff spots out of this league. Tennessee's best win is Alabama. A&M's best win is LSU. Georgia's best win is Texas. Ole Miss's best win is Georgia. Alabama beat Georgia and then LSU on a Saturday night in Baton Rouge, and we're supposed to think that Texas's win over Vanderbilt is enough? It isn't. Texas beats Arkansas, loses to A&M. They very well could be and maybe should be on the outside looking in. 877-377-6963 if you got thoughts on that. Or then maybe Arkansas beats Texas, A&M beats Texas, and we don't have to worry about any of this. And Texas can go have fun in Orlando on the Citrus Bowl. Maybe that could happen. But you still have to, the idea of the big name brands and everything, there's so many big name brands here. And as big as Texas is, I don't think they're Alabama. I don't think that brand is Georgia. But a 3-loss Texas team isn't getting in. A 2-loss Texas team, I still think there's no guarantee that Texas would get in with 2 losses. You got to have a big victory. All those other teams, like Mizzou isn't getting in with 2 losses because no matter what happens, they won't have beaten anybody this year. They're going to lose against South Carolina this weekend anyway. So what's Mizzou's best win
What
this
do you think,
year?
Phil? If Arkansas beats Texas, I see what you're saying. I agree with you. Missouri's not getting in. But if Texas beats A&M the last game of the year at College Station, that would be enough, I think, to get them. Yeah, okay.
I think so. Then we're talking they have the best win.
That would be their best win, yeah.
Matt, Mizzou's best win is Vanderbilt. Texas' best win is Vanderbilt. Neither of those teams get in if that's their best win of the season. As good as Vandy is this year compared to other years, that's not the win that trumps a Tennessee win over Alabama or A&M winning against LSU or Alabama beating Georgia and LSU. It doesn't happen this year.
Be interesting.
Right. I like Chris's text. You can't spell citrus without UT.
Usually
that's the reserve for Tennessee. Texas would work well too.
So if Texas was to win every game except for Georgia and A&M, you think they'd be on the outside looking out? I mean, that would be no wins against anybody really.
And then it's opt-out season for the Longhorns, which should be a lot of fun. It's also a lot of fun if you're craving anything sweet and delicious to get over to Andy's Frozen Custard on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Other locations in Conway on East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive or JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Make sure to take home a pick 6 for football Saturdays, 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat at Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, ready to serve you. We'll break and talk with Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation in just a moment on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
think you can be awfully proud of the way your fans are with you. I've never seen stands so full of life. The whole state was behind you. There was a spirit there about it, Coach, and that means that your team has done something that's really great for this state.
Thank you, sir. We're very proud of our fans. They've had a big part in the success that we've had.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Taylor down the sideline. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Get ready for the biggest sporting event of the year in the Arklahoma area. Modern Gun Deer Season 2024 and Jelco Outdoors has everything you need to have a great hunt. Hunting clothing and boots, rifles, ammo, tree stands, ground blinds, cover sets, feeders, knives, rangefinders, and everything you need for all the family to have a great deer season. Jelco wishes all the hunters good luck and safe hunting from your friends at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
This is Ricky Young with Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes, vegetable-related rock for a healthier lifestyle. When we have any problem at all, we call 782-8940.
It's a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Our brand new Barling location is now open at 942 Fort Street. Get these red-hot buys at all 5 locations. A 230-piece Craftsman Versa Stack Mechanics tool set, only $99. Milwaukee Select M12 and M18 tools and batteries, also $99. And Ace Reward members get super instant savings on select DeWalt and Craftsman tools and accessories. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center, 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Please don't dominate the rap chat if you got nothing new to say. If you please don't back up the track, this train's gotta run today. I spent a little time on the mountain, spent a little time on the hill. Heard some say better run away, others say you better stand still. Now I don't know.
Welcome back to
Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Always appreciate time from Mike Irwin with Pig Trail Nation, and he gives us some of that time on a Monday afternoon today. Hey, Mike, happy Monday. How are you?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Doing great, man. Doing great. We can see the remaining games of the season right there in front of the Razorbacks. Coach Pittman talking today. After hearing him speak, how confident are you in Taylen Green being the starting quarterback on Saturday and maybe having a full running back room?
Not as confident about the running. He said Green was fine. Worked out last week, acted like there was no issue there. Still not sure about Jaquindon. He said he's going to work out today and they'll know more later. Probably the biggest question that he answered was from a week ago when everybody was going, what's up with the secondary? And I think I told you guys that with all this talk about their scheme problem or maybe they just weren't that good, it just looked like to me there was less effort in that game against Ole Miss. And he pretty much confirmed that today. He said he wasn't happy with what they were doing. He said the one thing he regretted from last year was when those guys started going downhill a year ago, he didn't do anything about it. And so what he's done last week and this week is three of the four positions back there are wide open for somebody to come take. I'm assuming that one position is T.J. Metcalf, although he didn't say. The other news is Jalen Braxton, going into the season, might have been arguably their best cornerback. He got hurt against Oklahoma State. He was a preseason All-SEC freshman. He was an All-SEC freshman last year. Preseason second-team All-SEC. Hasn't been available since the Oklahoma State game. And a lot of people believe that's really caused some problems back there. And he's going to work out today, and there's at least a chance that he will play in this game. So all those things would make a big difference, guys, if that's what ends up happening. And then he also said that they do believe, or they did do some things last week and will continue this week to do some things to disguise their coverages back there. He said we might have been unintentionally giving them a look at what we were doing. We suspect that Ole Miss knew what we were doing before we did it. So there's all of that to deal with the secondary issue.
Mike, with as far as what would be one of your keys to the game, I'm trying to look at this Arkansas-Texas matchup and trying to say, well, you know what, the score's 0-0. We go out there, keep it close like Tennessee, keep it a one-possession game as long as we can. Does our defense, obviously we got to tackle better, we got to get to the quarterback. But if you see Arkansas winning this game, is it going to have to be one of those 24-21 type of games?
Let me start off by saying that there was a lot of talk about this rivalry and how Arkansas got into it in 2021. Sam Pittman pretty much said it, and that is this is not even close to the same Texas team. They had a quarterback issue in 2021. They don't have that issue. They're better, bigger, faster at almost every position. So it's going to be tough, guys. I don't care what you do. When you look at this team and what they do in the passing game, they are more like LSU. You remember what LSU did? They chewed Arkansas up on the corners. So he said, we've got to be able to deal with them when they try to get people in space. We can't have missed tackles. We've got to turn them inside. He said, because they're as good as anybody about throwing screen passes and doing reverses and getting their people out into space kind of one-on-one and trying to go around people, go outside of people. That hurt them against Mississippi State, too. So that's the number one thing they got to do is funnel everything inside. I don't think they'll have as much of a problem getting beat deep, but that's obviously a possibility too. And then you've just got to compete offensively. You know, you can't have turnovers. I don't know if they can avoid that, but in the games where Arkansas has won, they didn't have turnovers. And virtually every game they've lost this year, turnovers were a huge part of it.
Well, I mean, I see this as a chance to maybe, ruin a season for Texas potentially. I was looking through some of the teams that are competing for well, really the regular season league championship, so playoff spots. I don't think Texas has a signature win. Vanderbilt's their best win. So I think they need to beat A&M at the end of the season to get into the playoffs. Now, admittedly, a loss to Arkansas doesn't necessarily knock them out of the playoff, but I think they need to. I think they're going to have to beat A&M, because I see other teams in this league that have better wins that you say are signature wins. But what would a win for Arkansas? What would a win for Coach Pittman do against Texas? Some folks wonder if that would lead to an extension, or maybe am I going a little bit too far, wondering about what a win would do for them?
Yeah, I don't know that you'd be talking about an extension after all the controversy over the extension he got earlier, 2 or 3 years ago. But I do think there was another thing that happened today, guys, that people should not overlook, because there was all this talk in the last week. Oh, he's having this hip surgery, and it's just too much for him, and he can't recover in time. He's going to voluntarily retire. But what he said today was he's going to have the surgery immediately after the Missouri game, hopes to be back up and working by mid-December when the portal opens. Mid-December is also when you start bowl practices. So it doesn't sound like to me that he's planning to retire as a result of hip surgery. If that was the case, he'd just wait till the end of the year, do it, and then he'd never have to deal with when he came back to work. So that probably says more about his future than. But I do agree, if they beat Texas, there's no way he's probably going to be gone. I don't know about a contract extension, though. I don't know that he would coach long enough to do that. We'll have to see. If it was an extension, it might be a 1-year deal.
Mike, who are you more impressed with over the weekend? The way Bama went in there at night in Baton Rouge and mollywopped LSU, never was close, or the way that Ole Miss, with their backs against the wall and the, so to speak, best team in the SEC, Georgia, Ole Miss kind of stood their ground and big-time win. Who impressed you the most?
Yeah, I'd say they were both impressive games, but I'd go with Ole Miss. And I don't – look, who do they have left to play? Florida and Mississippi State?
That's it.
They're in as far as I'm concerned. I don't see any way they don't get in a championship game unless there's some – the formula for that thing is there's about 6 steps on it, depending on how many people are tied. So I guess you could get into some crazy multiple tie situation where they didn't work it out. But I think they're there. And then who else? Who's the other team? Good grief, who knows? But Ole Miss is in good shape. They've really bounced back. I thought they were going to miss the playoffs completely. And now it looks like unless something happens to these guys in the next 2 weeks, I think they're in. So they got what they wanted.
Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Those are the 4 that would be in right now. Maybe A&M. That could be 5, but that about who you see those 4 teams going?
Yeah, I'd go Texas.
Texas, yep. There we go.
I'd go Ole Miss, and I don't know. I'm thinking A&M would be out because that would mean Texas beat them. So do you bring Georgia back into the mix? Maybe. Alabama's
in. Yeah, they don't play anybody either.
Yeah, so that's where you go. And do they get 4 in, guys? I don't know. Maybe it's just 3.
No, I think
they get 4.
I think it'll be 4 this year.
Yeah, I think it'll be 4.
You're going to see 1 from the ACC, 1 from Big 12, Notre Dame, and then, heck, it's like you actually may very well see 5.
Depends on if you get an Indiana, Boise State,
right.
Some of these SMU.
Mm-hmm. It's a crazy year of college football, Mike, and you think about how at various times of the year we've had teams that, well, this is the team that's playing best right now. Georgia's playing the best after they after a win against Texas. Alabama's playing the best after a win against Georgia. A&M's playing the best after they just wiped the floor with Missouri. What it matters is who's playing the best right now, which reminds me of basketball and reminds me of baseball. This isn't the kind of thing you're worried about in football too often, because if you lost 2 games, one in October, one in September, but you're playing great in November, all that meant was, you might play well in your bowl game if you keep the team together, but it means something a whole lot different now.
everything's changed, and I still don't think we may be through with this. What's true one week may not be true next week. I mean, I don't think, especially ever since it just seems like when they announced Napier was safe, Florida didn't play as well. But they might bounce back. I mean, what if they beat Ole Miss? I mean, that could suddenly change everything. So there's still options out there. And this has been the craziest year I've ever seen. It's just so balanced. Most people feel like, again, it's because of NIL. NIL was supposed to be this thing that where the rich guys, the money guys got all the players. But what happened was other teams got good enough players that if you don't play well, they can still beat you. So it kind of elevated the rest of the league.
Hey, Mike, did you get your eyes on the basketball team? I watched the first game I saw the Hogs play. I don't necessarily see the NBA talent in the guards that everybody's talking about. Like, I don't see Anthony Black. I don't even see a Brandon Miller. You know, I don't know. Maybe these guards are good enough, and maybe I'll see more of it, and I'll see what everybody else sees. I see more of our NBA talent is with our bigs. But what were your thoughts on the Arkansas basketball game against Baylor?
Well, if you listen to Cal, and I mean, he's going to say what he wants you to hear, but it also may be what he believes. And I've asked some people about that, and then they know how he typically coaches. His version of that was that, number one, they don't scrimmage in the preseason like other teams do as much. He spends all the summer on conditioning. Then when the fall semester starts, they start working on specific things, but it starts with defense. And then he said what we did after that was we worked on our offense against man defenses, and we didn't do anything about zone defenses, and that's what killed them in the first half of this game. So was that dumb? People tell me that's just the way he does things. The guard thing you're talking about might just be the one guy, you know, John L. Davis he's not shooting right now. Again, Cal said that my teams typically don't shoot well early on because we don't focus on that in practice early. And he said they'll come around. And Courtney's dad is a D2 basketball coach who's good friends with Cal, knows him, and he said that he's exactly right. That's what his teams do. So I don't know. I mean, it's a little worrisome to me when you play a Baylor team that just got crushed by Gonzaga, and then Arkansas was in that game. They kept coming close. They tied it up a couple of times late, so it's not like they got blown out. But Baylor just exposed some things. I think they need to get Adu back. You know, he's your starting big guy if he's healthy and he's 100%. We saw again in this game he wasn't. But I think, you know, Zvonimir Ivicic, he's good. And he's developing, but he didn't play a lot last year, so he's still got to develop. And it looked like to me Baylor, he was a mismatch against some of Baylor's more athletic guys going to the basket.
That's interesting takes there, Mike. Appreciate your time, man. We'll leave it there, and let's do it again Monday next week, okay?
See you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, with us every Monday on Halftime. Oh, big week going on at Twin Peaks in Rogers right now. Veterans serving active duty or a veteran with a military ID get free lunch today at Twin Peaks. Just got to bring your military ID, show it, and you will have 4 different options to select from for a free lunch at Twin Peaks in Rogers now. You got National Pickles Day coming up in 3 days. They'll have the Paul Tyson fight on Friday and UFC 309 at Twin Peaks as well. All this week at Twin Peaks. 29-degree draft beer always flowing, made from scratch, fan favorites in the menu, and sports blasting from every angle. Get the ultimate game day experience at Twin Peaks or online to go at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. Always more to watch at Twin Peaks. It's the home stretch, and you can call or text us 877-377-6963. Halftime returns after this.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
It's that time of year, jackpot season. Play the new $1 Million Jackpot Scratch-Off ticket from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. You might just, win one. It's the biggest instant prize of the year, and that's just the icing on the cake. There's more than $50 million in prizes out there waiting for a winner. Be that winner. Try the new $1 Million Jackpot ticket in stores now at a lottery retailer near you. Happy jackpot season. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. Well, you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
My second up, the game plan that he put together, that was fun to watch.
3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. I'm a patient there, and you can be too. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
It's the Christmas open house with a big 2-day sale at the Solid Rock. Friday and Saturday, the 22nd and 23rd. Enjoy the festive Christmas atmosphere and enjoy savings throughout the store. Select Caruso shirts for $12, women's devotionals for less than $8, and brand new personalized jewelry. Tons of door prizes and sales, and traditional wassail will be served. Come kick off the Christmas season at the Solid Rock. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith, the Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I had so much time to sit down and think about myself, and then there she was, like double cherry pie. Yet there she was, like disco superfly. I smell sexy and hair. Who's that lounging in my chair? Who's that casting the stares in my direction? Mama, this surely is a dream.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We get any interest in this Dolphins-Rams game tonight? I know my daughter's going to have the game on. She didn't want to go see Arkansas and Little Rock at the Jack Stevens Center for the women's basketball game because then she would miss her precious NFL Monday Night Football game. She and I watched 3 games together yesterday. I did tell her at the start of the day, remember, Sadie, nobody cares about your fantasy team, but you can bring it up a couple of times if you want, because I want her to enjoy these Sundays with me, and she does. And then it wasn't even just that. Like, we watched a couple of football games on Saturday, Matt, and she gave the exact same opinion about Jalen Milroe as you did and as everybody else does. It's just she doesn't listen to sports radio. She doesn't watch SportsCenter or, college football final or any of the analysis shows. She gets her sports news from Instagram and TikTok. But her analysis watching Jalen Milroe is, boy, Dad, that guy is just like a running back with an arm. Like, maybe you should think about getting into football at some point. 15 years old, there's a future in this thing.
She could be the next Mina Kimes. Well, the Lenny and Mina show, but Milroe, he's a great college quarterback. I mean, there's nothing. I'm not talking bad about the kid. He's not playing quarterback on Sundays.
Well, so what do you do? So he obviously has the athletic ability to play at that level. What is his future? If it's not quarterback,
CFL.
What is it? CFL or is it a different position?
He's not good enough. I don't know that he's. So you look at Taysom Hill, a guy that was with the Saints for a little bit. I'm trying to look at athletic quarterbacks. What can he do? He's too much Eric Crouch where he can't do anything else. Like I just don't think there's another position on the field that you could put him at and he would be successful as quarterback. Is he as good as Tebow when Tebow was a quarterback? I don't even know if he's as good as passer as Tebow. And Tebow, we all know that he couldn't pass the ball very well. But that running guy kind of, you always got a number system when you always got him outnumbered when your quarterback can take off and run.
Was it Crouch that they tried to turn to a safety?
I think the Rams
NFL?
did. St. Louis Rams tried to. You look at different guys. It's hard to play a different position. It really is.
I just feel like it would be almost impossible to switch from the offensive side to the way you describe defensive players in the NFL.
Yeah, you got to be nasty.
They're trained assassins, right?
He doesn't want to hurt. No, it's a totally different concept, different way of playing football than when you get over on that defensive side of the ball. They're wolves over there, man. They'll tear you up.
It almost feels like it would be a waste of amazing athletic ability, but as I think about it, he doesn't quite. Does he have the right?
If you make
so I wonder if there's like the right
the
size to, but the right size to play running back, but has not played that position before. And I think about the switch that you made, and just how impossible that has to be able to pull off and still succeed at the next level as you did. It's just. It's an amazing thing to try to do, but it does feel like if Milroe's going to play in the NFL, that's what he's going to have to do. Otherwise, like you're saying, yeah, you can make a good living playing QB in the CFL.
Absolutely. CFL makes 7 figures. And then again, and that's the thing I talk about. If you go to an NFL franchise and you're not drafted in the first round to be quarterback, you're going to get 0 reps. So how are you going to improve? You got to be a student of the game. You got to, you're not going to take a lot of first team reps. But maybe he gets on a practice squad. Maybe you think of guys like, remember Cardell Jones at Ohio State. He never really figured it out. I don't know if he passes as good as Cardell, but he's big, athlete, can run. So there's different avenues, different options to try to get better and improve on. I just don't think he can. I don't know what position you would play him at because I don't think his skill set really translates to other positions on the field.
Hog Wild thinks that Milroe is an NFL quarterback, and he's pointing out to Lamar Jackson. It's just Jackson was a guy who had better passing numbers, I think. Than I was going in my mind here thinking about it, as you've described Jackson too, and then you watch what he is in the NFL, is that he beats you in 2 different ways. And I know Milroe has made some really good throws that I've seen before. It's just I don't think that's necessarily the way that Alabama wins games right now. They win games through his ability to run, I think, more than anything else.
That's yeah. You can take a big, strong kid. If you can't dissect the defense, if you can't sit there and go through your progressions, that's not what he does. You know, you're thinking of Anthony Richardson. You know, you're the big, strong kids that can run. And Lamar Jackson's a pure pocket passer that happens to be an athlete. There's a totally difference. Josh Allen, a pure pocket passer that happens to be an athlete, and he had to work on his accuracy when he was younger, but he's done it. You said those are two elites of the elites in the NFL right now.
I would think that Milroe has to be noticeably more accurate. I think as he goes throughout the rest of this year. I'm just looking at the.
You know,
his accuracy numbers are good. 66% last year, 67% this year. A couple of interceptions and everything. You know, the guy who's really his draft stock has fallen is Carson Beck. I think he leads the nation in interceptions right now. You know, he's been the first Georgia quarterback to drop this many games in a while. And I think that's the guy whose stock has taken just the biggest dip. I think wasn't he odds-on favorite for Heisman Trophy, and now I don't even think he's on the list any longer. Looking at the NFL too, does it? Lions are the best in the NFC as of right now. I mean, I think they've separated themselves from the rest. Eagles contender. I don't really believe in that many other teams. I like Jaden Daniels. I like the Commanders, but I don't think they're going to pull away in that East division. And maybe as a wild card team, they can make some noise. The Lions, I think, are the clear-cut best team in the NFC.
And maybe Minnesota and Green Bay are the next right in their own divisions, what I'm saying. You might be right. Maybe those the best teams are in the NFC North.
And looking at the AFC, it's not as clear-cut of a picture. I mean, the Chiefs right now at 9-0, but do you have the feeling, the same feeling you might have had with Miami in college football? It's like, you know, playing with fire enough times, and sooner or later you're getting burned. Like, I don't think anybody's going 17-0 in this NFL, but it just feels like the Chiefs, they're just not teetering. I think they're playing really well. It's just I can't imagine how long you can continue to win games at the gun and win games by 1 or 2 or 3 points over and over again. And man, that wasn't a matter of being lucky to the way they won the game this last yesterday against Denver. It's just you're just not going to have many blocked 30-yard field goals to win a game at the gun.
The stat I heard, Phil, and it's not even close. Teams that have had 10 play drives on the season, Kansas City has more than 10 than the next closest. So their ball control, they do have the best quarterback. They lead the NFL in 10 play plus drives, and it's not even close. So I know it's weird, and they're kind of their point differential is not as high as you'd like for it to be, and they're finding ways, but maybe there's a little complacency. You know, they are the best team, and you know, maybe there's a little boredom. I don't know how much, but I know their offense is they have the more 10 play drives than any other in the league.
I don't believe in the Texans right now, and I really can't imagine that I would for the remainder of the season as far as ability to do damage in the postseason. The Bills are just going to cruise now. They have a 5-game lead. They've played 10 games. They lead the East by 5 games. They may have like a champagne party in 3 weeks.
Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Kansas City. Those would be the teams I would think. Are you putting Pittsburgh there? Because if you go at Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, nobody out of the AFC South. Pittsburgh might be the 4th best team in the AFC.
I think they could. But look, when you got a quarterback who right now just kind of isn't going to lose games for you and might actually make some of the throws that the last couple of the quarterbacks weren't making, I think that goes I think it goes a really long way, especially with the way that defense plays. I can't wait for the Baltimore-Pittsburgh games. They still have 2 of those. The Steelers still have the rest of they haven't played a single divisional game yet. Those Baltimore-Pittsburgh games, I think there's one coming next week, right?
Black and blue.
Let's get it going, man. I'll have to miss that thing because we're going to be flying back. I'll go with women's basketball to Los Angeles Friday morning, so I won't be on the show. The game is 4 o'clock Pacific time, Sunday, Los Angeles time, which is what, 6 o'clock our time here in Arkansas?
I think it's noon o'clock.
So by the time so who knows? Maybe I will be able to watch. I don't know. But I usually one of those 2 games that they play every year is going to be a Sunday night or a Monday night game.
They got this one at noon unless it's getting flex. Do they do the flex still, or would we know about it? But right now it says noon.
That should be a prime time game. Yeah, JT wants. You didn't want to know why the Cowboys are not on my list of Super Bowl contenders.
Chiefs and Bills too this week, Phil. Oh my goodness,
that should be fun.
Chiefs at the Bills.
Preview of an AFC Championship game. Hello,
Ravens, Steelers. Woo.
And I'll be doing Arkansas UCLA women's basketball
and Washington Philly. So there's 3 big time games right there of just huge time games.
Yeah, I love the divisional games. Those are always the best. I also love Crabtree RV Center in Alma. They've been serving our listening area for the last 70 years. Junction of I-40 and I-49 right beside the Cracker Barrel, where they've been for a long, long time. Crabtree RV Center. Make sure your family has the best experience when you choose in the RV for your adventures. Service and parts department on site. You can get a look at them online at crabtreerv.com. And we'll be back to wrap up halftime after this.
This is halftime.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics. What makes you unique from other stores in the area?
I try to build a great relationship with all of my customers. I can do just anything from cars to food trucks to signs, banners. I do a lot of custom this and that. I'll say 100% of anybody come in here, they leave out happy. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 0 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
dance under the moon. Let the feeling take over me. Sunglasses when it's too bright. Dark as my coffee in the morning. Oh.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, I want to wish a very good luck to Arkansas soccer. That we'll be finding out later today, 3 o'clock, I believe, where they will be seeded in the NCAA tournament. Lost in the semifinals of the SEC tournament to Texas over the weekend. So we know they'll be in, just not sure where they'll play or who, but we'll find out later on. And anything big happen in soccer over the weekend, Matt?
Man, it was an amazing week, but it's international break now, so that they'll take another couple weeks off, and then they'll really push through for about 40 straight days. You know how you do you've been doing your 55 straight days of football, but they do that over the Christmas holidays here when they get back after this international break. There's like a big time soccer game like every day until like January 6th.
So tell me if you've ever seen this happen before. There is a Georgia player, a backup safety named Jake Pope, who apparently was kind of celebrating with the Ole Miss fans when they stormed the field at Vaught Hemingway on Saturday. I saw a photo of this. I didn't see video of it, but Kirby Smart was asked about it today, and he says, what an idiot. I mean, just stupid. I didn't see it until today, but he's embarrassed about it. He's upset about it. I guess he was celebrating with some childhood friends because the kid's from Georgia, but he was celebrating with them afterwards. And, man, that is you can't be caught celebrating your own team's loss. I just don't know if that ever is a good look.
Ooh. Maybe if you put horns down while you do it, though, then maybe that could help. Just be like, yeah, whatever, horns down. It is horns down week.
That's right. I mean, are we supposed to do this all week long? Do I just hold these 2 digits down for the rest of it? I got a Little Rock. I got a game against the Trojans tonight. I can't be worried about Texas just yet. I got a couple hours tonight. I got to worry about Arkansas versus Little Rock.
We got a chance in this one tonight? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think they look really good Friday against East Texas A&M, and as long as Little Rock doesn't change their name at the moment, I know it'll still be Little Rock, not Central Arkansas A&M or anything like that. Yeah, they ought to do fine. I was impressed with the way they played on Friday, but I don't think anything is a given, I think, right now either, with as much newness as there is with this team. But Little Rock's got a new head coach after Joe Foley retired. I think Foe was there for 22 years? 7 o'clock tonight, and I'll let you know what happens with it tomorrow. And as far as tomorrow's concerned, will be Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, and Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio. Also tomorrow we get another look at the college football playoff poll, the poll that matters. Will come out at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Probably be a few more people watching because last Tuesday there was a little something else that was going on at that very time as well. Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach. They are coming up in just a couple of minutes. And our Eastside Liquor halftime podcast will be ready to go thanks to C Burger Movie Unit and C45, our producers. So that's halftime for a Monday. Have a great rest of your day. For Matt Jones, for Kristen Johnston, for Colton Little, and our guests, Mike Irwin, Dr. Charlie Liggett, and Matt Zimmerman, I'm Phil Elson. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.